gentlemen, Bob Murfin.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. He was talking about Duckbill Davis. A lady was going to a sale in the country. Her husband said, if there's a good bull for sale, buy him. We need a good bull. She went to the sale, she bought several things, and there was a bull for sale, and she bought it. Then she realized she had a problem. How was she going to get him home? So she thought and went to the Western Union and said, I need to send a message to my husband. But I've only got a quarter. How many words can I send for a quarter? They said, 1 word. Oh my, she said. Well, all right. So she wrote down the word, handed it to the telegraph operator, and he said, comfortable? Is that the word? That's the word. My husband, she said, is a slow reader, and he'll know the message. Come forth the bull. Well, that's a lot of bull, no matter how you face it. Anyway, when I came to radio, I didn't know which end of a microphone to use. I'd been a student here at Moody Bible Institute. I used to think people who were in radio were some special kind of angels. I'd see them walk around in the halls, and I'd try to walk like them. Then one day, Bob Parsons called me up when I was at the Moody Church as a youth pastor, and he said, I believe, no, he said, Walter Carlson, you call up Bob. Walter Carlson, I believe, called me and said, would you like to come down and try out a morning program for 2 or 3 weeks? We'll see if you can do it. That 2 or 3 weeks went to 3 years. I went to California, came back later on, and began again, and my wife said, surely you're not going. Honey, just a year or 2, I said. That went to another 24 years. So today I'm not saying much anything except it's time to introduce Glenn Jorian. Here's a man that... Now, Glenn, I've been around this place for quite a while, but you go way back beyond me. This is an anniversary for you.
Yeah, it's a big one. In fact, when I realized it was the 70th anniversary of WMBI, when I came back from World War II service as a pilot, I became known as the singing pilot down at YFC Orchestra Hall.
What was the theme of that singing pilot? How'd you take off on that thing? Can you remember?
Well, all I remember is when I was flying out over the Pacific for 22 hours at a crack looking for typhoons, and they found me. I was so glad that I had some confidence in the Lord at that time, and I was singing, his eyes on the sparrow, that little bitty sparrow, he's sure know where this big B-29 is, and so we got home.
Well, Glenn, you've been a blessing to us over the years, and still are. We thank God for you. Sorry, this man was going to give a concert out there in the rain, but we wouldn't let him. We was afraid he'd get a cold, and he's such a small, frail individual.
I would have wilted.
Sing for us, man. Sing for us.
Thank you. Back 50 years ago, it was all live. We didn't have recorded music in those days. They started recording things on big platters on one side with a groove being cut right into the actual platter. And if you made a mistake, you'd break and start all over again. Well, we did that too many times, and then they finally invented tape, so it worked out much better. But in those days, the radio programs that we had were live, and we had call-in programs then, which were called request programs. How many remember shut-in request program on Monday mornings? Yes, a lot of you. How about birthday and anniversary request program? We had all kinds of them. Well, when people would call in the 40s and the 50s, there was always one song that they asked for. As a sweet song, it was a song about the best theme of all, the love of God, and you know that one. And I'd like to share it with you at this time. The love of God is greater far, and tongue or pen can ever tell. It goes beyond the highest star and reaches to the lowest hell. The guilty favorites number 2. You remember that one? Had a little note on the bottom that said this verse was found on the wall of an asylum by someone who was thought to be demented. But you listen to these words and you're overpowered by the vastness of God's love and what it really means. Aren't we grateful for the love of God that included even me? Could we with ink the ocean fill, and were the skies of parchment made, were every stalk on earth a quill, and every man a scribe by trade, to write the love of God above would drain that ocean dry, nor could the scroll contain the whole, though stretched from sky to sky. Oh, love of God, how rich and pure, how measureless and strong, it shall the saints and the angels' song. Oh, love of God, oh,
Thank you, Glenn. And thank you, Cynthia Unimark. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.